Welcome to the 1000 Comics Podcast. It's your host, Matt Heath. How you doing, folks? What's new out there? How you doing? I'm good. You good? I'm good. I I'm sober a little over a month now. I got my 1 month chip from AA, and I'm learning how to be more introspective. Definitely learning how to reprogram my life, basically. Trying to figure out how to be a better conversationalist in this reprogram. You're gonna see with this conversation I had with Chris Warren. You know what? Let's just get right into the conversation I had with Chris Warren. He's a newer comic on the scene. Really funny dude. I just saw him host a show in Bridgeport in this like arts basement that was kind of cool. I saw some newer comics there. Manny Sierra is the guy that runs the room, but Chris was the guy hosting, and he was really funny. There's this brand new comic, first time on stage. This dude with a bunch of neck tattoos. He refused to get off the stage, and Chris handled it immaculately, like saying, "I'm not gonna take the microphone from you. I'm not, like afraid he's gonna get beat up by this guy with neck tattoos," and just start saying stuff like, "I need an adult." Really getting this dude that refused to get off the stage off in a funny way, like a non-confrontational way, which is so Chris Warren. And you're gonna see that. But I've been feeling great, folks. I got a sold out show coming. I really think this is like all due to the fact that I'm completely sober now. I feel like my work ethic is gone into overdrive, and I really dig that. So before we get into the podcast, just a little word from our sponsor. You've probably heard a lot about cannabidiol or CBD, but have you heard about the plant science company taking the lead in providing the highest quality CBD nationwide? At your CBD store, Simsbury, you will find a fantastic staff that creates a comfortable environment where you can get your questions answered and find the right products to get the relief you need. They will be your number one source for providing quality education about products for you and your pet. They offer a full line of edibles, creams, USDA certified oils, and more, all developed under the guidance of their PhD analytical chemists and health leaders across the industry. And to back up their story, they also provide extensive third-party testing to ensure that what's listed on the products is actually in the products. They are located 1243 Hot Meadow Street in Simsbury and open 7 days a week. Give them a call at 860-217-1433. Visit their website at ycbdsimsbury.com or stop in for free samples and the highest quality products you can find. Your CBD store Simsbury, where good health hits home. So they're really good. Tell them Matt Heath sent you. CBD products. They're good stuff, especially if you're trying to kick other habits. I haven't used any in a while. I hope they send me a few more free samples. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into the show, too, this audio that Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters, he played Winston in Ghostbusters, was kind enough to do. He promotes my show, which is already sold out, but I'm going to play it anyways, so you guys can know about John James, who is also on this show. If you haven't listened to his episode, check it out. But to donate to him, if you have the time or money, you could send a few shekels over to his wife's Venmo at CarlyJames720. Or just listen to what Ernie Hudson here has to say, and do that.
Hi, this is Ernie Hudson, Winston Zedmore from Ghostbusters. First, I want to give a big shout out to John James and just wish you, John, for a really speedy recovery. I know you're going through a challenging time. Cancer is pretty frightening. I know I've been through 2 bouts of it myself, but just know that, as we say in Ghostbusters, the skies haven't fallen, the seas didn't boil. It's not Judgment Day, and this too shall pass. So I'm just wishing you and hoping, like I said, the absolute best. Me and all the other Ghostbusters all over the world, we're all pulling for you. But I also, for everyone else, I want you guys to check out Bust Out the Cancer Comedy Show. And these are comic stresses, Ghostbusters, hosted by Matt Heath. This is on Thursday, October 29th, 8 p.m., Stand-Up Underground Elbow Room in West Hartford. Tickets are $25, and all the proceeds are going to John's chemo. And also go to gofundme.com/Johns-cancer-story. You guys check it out. It's for a great cause, a really, really special person. So you guys just, everybody stay up, stay strong, stay healthy. And as we say in Ghostbusters, keep on busting. Take care.
All right, so donate what you can to either the GoFundMe page or the Venmo that I just mentioned. Other than that, please enjoy my interview I did with Chris Warren. Alright, we're just going to get right into this, man. Welcome to the 1000 Comics Podcast. I'm sitting here with Chris Warren.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Glad to be here.
Oh, come on. You're not going to hit me with your patented, like, when you say your name when you come out on a stage?
We're moving in a different direction post-COVID. We're going to be more marketable, wider audience. Going to be great stuff.
Well, then I guess I'll just start with an impression of you then. My name's Chris Warren, and I just love how you start every act by just saying your name the exact same way you do every other time you're on stage. Because honestly, it gets like, if people see a show more than once, it's good. By the third time, people are going to remember your name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I started doing it because I would do all these mics in like bars where no one's listening, no one wants to pay attention. You'd have like 4 comics go up with no one even listening. It's just like, what if I just scream my name as loud as possible?
It's a good idea.
You get them in for at least 30 seconds. You have one joke to like try to win them over at that point.
Very true, sir. How long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
So a year this last August, but like 7 months of that were in quarantine. So really only like 6 months pre-COVID.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So 6 months before COVID,
Yeah.
and now maybe you've been back at it a month, or you've been hitting it hard since we've come out of the...
So I did a couple shows during quarantine. I'm pretty sure are legal now. Which was, I knew this guy from a New York mic that would host these like hush-hush open mics in the basement of a Greenwich Village gay club.
Right. Not Greenwich Village Comedy Club.
No. Just in Greenwich
Because that's
Village.
also a basement.
But yeah, so I went to a couple of those like right at the beginning of quarantine.
And you're like, Greenwich Village is nothing like it is on the show Seinfeld.
Yeah, it's just nice, very empty, lots of free parking, and
Oh my god. See, every time I do stand-up in Greenwich Village, I have to do my Seinfeld impression. So I'd be like, what's the deal with this gay basement?
Yeah, it was a weird proposition, just a 52-year-old man inviting me to a basement for a quiet, private show in Greenwich Village.
And that was your first time on stage?
No, that was just during COVID. That was just what I was doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so,
you ended up getting shut down by the police. So that's not an option anymore.
Really? So it's good that you got a couple of New York shows in there during quarantine.
It's a polite word for it. Yeah, it was a good time,
But I don't know. I do like the idea of the law being against comedy, though. There's just something that feels so Lenny Bruce about it. Like, you're like taking on something. You're making a stand. You know what I mean?
I mean, I hate it. I love it. Let us just do comedy again. I'll do a Blue Lives Matter rally. I'll raise money for the police, passionately protecting us from the protesters. Whatever I gotta do.
I just realized something. I gave you my Conan O'Brien mug to drink out of, and I'm drinking out of my Mark Maron mug. So you got a Catholic drinking out of a Jew mug, and you got a Jew drinking out of a Catholic mug.
Switch up a little cross-pollination there.
See, this is what podcasts are all about, though. Coming together. I just got the Marin mug. I'm very proud of this Marin mug. Doesn't it just look... It just pops. I love it.
It is a nice mug, yeah.
But the hair on the Conan mug is great, too. The audience cannot see what we're talking about, so I find it best to move on. You grew up in Fairfield, correct?
I actually grew up in Reading, Connecticut, so like the Fairfield County area.
Okay.
And then like after middle school, I moved out of there and ended up right outside the Waterbury area.
Right.
Which I'm not a huge fan of. To anyone that lives in that area, you live in a horrible place. Anywhere outside of Fairfield County is not real Connecticut. If you live on 84,
right?
If you don't have a 203 number, don't call me.
Really? I called you. Come on.
Yeah, you're on the way to the mic. Stop, get a free cup of coffee, publicity. What are you gonna do?
I'm actually not going to Elbow Room tonight. I'm actually helping my high school English teacher messaged me on Facebook and asked me to help her move a couch.
Is that a euphemism for something?
I hope so.
Oh, yes.
We can only hope.
Matt, you can't help people. You got to put yourself forward if you want to make it in comedy. Okay, stage time is stage time. That's 5 minutes you're never going to get back to help someone that, let's be honest,
that's true though. But I also put it out there about this Ghostbusters show on CT Comics, where when I was booking the show, I made the fatal mistake of saying I'm booking a show. Inbox me if you're interested.
Oh God, your inbox.
Which even after, which it clearly says, not only does it clearly say inbox me in the post, but just 2 days after I posted this, I wrote in the comments, the show's fully booked. Now, yesterday the show was sold out. It's become sold out. And now I'm starting to get these messages from people that commented in the thread.
Oh, yo, can I get a guest spot?
Am I on the show? We haven't talked prior to this. Like, I don't understand why comedians would just assume they were on a show.
Because most comedians are very mentally ill and have not been doing anything in quarantine and just think they can will themselves into stage time. But
not only that, I think it's because that video of Ernie Hudson is out there promoting the show. And when you have an actual Ghostbuster, every fucking comic in Connecticut that sees that post is going to become hungry for that stage time.
True.
And then act like they're helping you out by donating their time.
I think what you should have done is you should have had the list you wanted, booked everyone, then put that post like you were looking for people, and then tell everyone you were going to get back to them, then tell them they should just show up to the show and we'll discuss it then, and then that's how you trick them.
No, but you can't tell people to just show up to the show because it's sold out. We sold out of tickets. So I can't just have random comedians showing up now because it's fucking COVID. You know what I mean?
I suppose. I think you could work this into a pyramid scheme.
I'd rather not. The folks that we're doing the benefit show for already have all the money, which is great because I just had people pay for the tickets over this guy's wife's Venmo.
Oh, nice.
So I think I'm going to keep doing. I really like doing charity shows, Chris. Contrary to what you just said earlier, helping people makes me feel good.
And it's a good way to get people to buy tickets.
It is.
Just really leverage the suffering of others to advance your career. Now you're thinking like a true comic. Now I'm proud of you.
But the only problem is I'm not making any money.
money is irrelevant, you know. It's all about the art, the comedy. You're doing it for the smiles. Bring people out of their day. Give them a laugh.
I'll tell you this. I'm just glad I saw John smile from doing that. Getting Ernie Hudson to do that video for him, because his wife sent me the reaction video, and the dude's in rough shape now. John, my heart goes out to you if you're listening. I'm just like glad to like help a dude that like was going through a tough time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, but this podcast is about you, sir.
Okay.
This is your episode of the 1000 Comics podcast, and I did a little research on you, Chris.
Oh no!
Not only does your Facebook page have barely anything, I think you have one profile pic of you not doing stand-up, and then a cat.
Yes, that would be accurate.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's about right.
And then, is there another Chris Warren that does stand-up?
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe I have
because I read this article about a Chris Warren comedian who performed for the troops in the Middle East and Iraq and Dick Cheney.
I was trying to keep that quiet. My service to the troops and Dick Cheney. But if you're gonna out me, yeah.
Is that wait? So it was you?
No, it wasn't. I'm coming over. Like, hey kid, you did good on like 3 open mics. You want to come perform in Iraq?
Oh.
Dick Cheney picked you. Dick Cheney came to the Seagrape. He saw your set, loved it.
Who knows though? You like, because from my research, all I know about you is what I've seen you do in clubs, which is very funny stuff.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
That you're Jewish. That and that you're from Fairfield County. So for all I know, like so someone higher up there might have just thrown you on the Iraq shit. Maybe put you on a USO tour.
Well, this is an open call to USO. If you want, I will come do time in Iraq free of charge. I will come entertain our troops.
You know what? Since I'm already on the charity bandwagon here, I'm going to throw that out there too. If you want to put me and Chris on a USO tour,
yeah, it'd be great.
But just know that we both will piss ourselves.
No,
if they're no, I mean, what if we have to like hide out in like a bunker or something, or see somebody get shot or get shot ourselves?
Imagine how much material you would get out of watching someone get shot, though. It's like, sure, it's sad on some level. But it's like, this is a bit right here. I don't know where the funny is. I'm going to figure out.
I don't know. Isn't there some kind of confidentiality in that? Like if a comedian does a USO tour and sees some action out there?
I think if the person who dies isn't a commissioned officer, you're good to go.
I mean, I've had comedians who were in the Army on this podcast talk about things that I don't think were Vital dejuiced. I'm talking about you. So, I suppose a comedian could talk about whatever they see out there on a USO tour.
I mean, what are they going to do? What are they going to do about it,
I'm not sure, man. Friggin' A. All right, so, I don't know. What was your first time on? Where was your first time on stage?
My first time on stage was at the Seagrape in Fairfield, Connecticut.
And it wasn't when Miles was running it? It was who was running it?
No, this was when it first started. This was like way back, like Greg and Nick Scopoletti.
Okay. I don't know those dudes. Those dudes all right? They're cool?
I'm kidding. Nick Scopoletti is a beautiful gay man. I've never seen him once where he didn't touch my penis, which is unsettling but also very flattering.
Jeez, it sounds like we have like kind of like a Me Too movement on our hands with only men.
It's only Me Too if they don't book me on things, So it's been about 6 months since the last booking, so I'm gonna need to re-up. Me Too.
I mean, when you wear a shirt like the shirt like you're wearing right now, I'm just gonna say you're kind of asking for it.
Yeah, a little bit,
How you liking the Java?
Java's good.
This is the first time. I usually grab guests coffee at Dunkin', This time I went for a 7-Eleven.
Oh, very nice. I'm glad I'm being guest.
So I'm glad you like the coffee. Dude, I think 7-Eleven makes pretty good coffee though.
So far,
it's not bad,
it's not
right?
bad. It's not bad 7-Eleven coffee.
I downloaded that 7-Eleven app.
Oh, did you get your free Slurpee?
No, but the coffee is cheaper when you download the 7-Eleven. It's only $1 for a cup of coffee.
Oh, nice.
So it was $1 for yours, but then because I had the refill mug, it was only $1 for mine. So it's really like paying for one cup of coffee.
These are the insider tricks.
This is the kind of stuff you want to hear on the podcast with Chris Ward.
Dude, this is why we can't have you on the USO show. You're going to be leaking secrets like this to the general public. Can't have it.
Well, when they build a 7-Eleven in Iraq and westernization takes over.
Could that be our USO show as we do the opening for the first
7-Eleven
in Baghdad?
I would love that.
I think that'd be great.
It would be great. But I want to take this one notch further.
Okay, lay it on.
So we can bring back the character of Apu on The Simpsons. We opened the first Quickie Mart in Iraq.
You know, it's 2020. A lot of controversy about Apu, and I'm just going to choose not comment on this.
We're going to debunk the controversy by completely westernizing the world by building the first Quickie Mart in Iraq. What do you think about that?
You know, I think it's great that we finally got that white man who was doing the voice of Apu to face justice. We got proper representation now in 2020.
I was more bothered by them changing the voice of Carl.
Did they change the voice of Carl?
They did. The black dude from the show Becker, the blind guy, he's playing Carl this season.
Who used to play Carl?
Hank Azaria.
Oh, okay.
I believe it was Hank Azaria. I know he played Apu. I think he might have played Carl too.
You're gonna get fact checked.
Yeah.
The fans are gonna write.
No, it's Hank Azaria. I'm sure of that. It's Hank Azaria. And you can take that to the bank, sir.
All right.
But I don't know. I just don't really see. So I was bothered by that. But not even as much as I was bothered the other day reading the newspaper. I read this Q&A with Lorne Michaels, and he was talking about what characters from Saturday Night Live that would not work today. He was saying Rosanna Dana, that Gilda Radner played, the Samurai Delicatessen that John Belushi played, the Festerant brothers. They could not do those today on Saturday Night Live. So it is now what they are saying is on network television, no race can play another race at all.
I mean, I'm just more concerned that people still are watching Saturday Night Live. Or The Simpsons, for that matter. It's like, come on, guys. Is that really the hill you're going to die on?
Yeah. For me, I mean, have you seen the sticker on my laptop there?
Oh, yeah, I just noticed that now. I mean, okay, the golden era, like, up to season 10, maybe season 14 even, there's, goes down a little bit. But after season 15, 16, like, The Simpsons, it's just a cameo show.
It's true.
It's literally just famous. It's like, oh, this wacky event happened in Springfield. Oh, it was a celebrity behind it. And then they wave at the celebrity. Celebrity does some, like, cheeky breaking the fourth wall, like, hey, I'm that celebrity. Look at this weird forced reference.
Yeah.
And then they leave.
Was The Simpsons, was that up there for you growing up? What were, like, your shows?
So I loved The Simpsons growing up. Simpsons was a great show. Watched a lot of South Park as well.
Yeah.
I was pretty much raised, but my parents weren't really paying attention. They were both quite the drunkards. So in, like, 4th grade, I was watching, like, Simpsons and South Park.
Yeah.
I think in, like, 6th grade, actually, it was, like, I watched The Chappelle Show, like, as it was airing.
Yes, I did too.
That was very...
Are we the same age? I'm 29.
I'm 26.
Okay, so just a little younger than me.
Yeah, so, like, The Chappelle Show really ingrained some things in me at a young, impressionable age.
Yeah, because I remember seeing things in the Chappelle Show that you would, for a child, it would be like scarring for life. I would think even some of the humor in it.
I don't know if it was scarring. It was definitely some misinterpretation.
Not scarring, but definitely like shaping your sense of humor without even knowing it.
Yeah. Also, being that age, not understanding necessarily what irony or satire is, it sometimes the making fun of stereotypes he would do would more just introduce me to the fact that those stereotypes existed. So
Okay.
maybe not the most
which in a sense is why Chappelle left to Africa in the first place. Is that I think that's something that he brought up, was that the people that were mainly watching his show were white people that were laughing at the stereotypes,
not so much with,
and rather than the satire.
Yeah, but no, Chappelle Show was big as a kid. A lot of South Park, just all the Adult Swim shows.
Yeah.
Really got
You
me.
know, South Park I stopped watching when they started adding arcs to the season.
Yeah, right. It was unnecessary. It's like you had a good thing going, then they introduced what was it, 3 or 4 seasons ago. I think it was the PC Principle was introduced.
Yes.
And and that just kind of ruined it.
That's when I stopped watching.
And it
right
kind of been
around
going
then.
downhill for a while.
But I don't know. I'm definitely willing to get back on the South Park bandwagon. I just I don't know. I think just when Jon Stewart left the Daily Show, that's when I canceled my cable, basically. Not that I don't like Trevor Noah, but I just
I don't like Trevor Noah. I'll be open with that. I think he's hard.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't like him. I don't think he's a better host than Jon Stewart, though.
That's a fair statement.
I like his stand-up. I'll say that. I like Trevor Noah's stand-up, but I don't really need to watch him every day doing the news. Because it's more news than comedy now, I feel like. Now it's like it used to be a comedy show with a little bit of left-wing news. Now it's a left-wing news show with a little bit of comedy. Would you agree with that?
I mean, I don't watch it, so I don't. I'm just like, this is all new to me. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Sounds good.
I mean, but that's probably why you stopped watching it without even knowing.
I mean,
or you're like, I do know, I just don't like Trevor Noah.
Just don't like Trevor Noah.
You seem like you could be one of the new correspondents on that show if you just to fucking apply to yourself, Chris Moore. Come on.
Hey, I'm the one going to Mike's tonight. You're helping move a couch. I don't know,
Hey, I got a sold out show, and I don't want any more open micer comedians hassling me about getting on it. I'd rather be moving a couch.
Fair.
Like we said, though, moving the couch.
I'm going to tell everyone, hey guys, I was just on Matt Heath's podcast. He said, open call, first 5 people there, guest spot, 5 minutes. Heard it from me.
If you do, I'm going to personally kick you in the nuts. If there is one Ghostbuster.
No matter how great would that feel for them to come, like, yeah, I'm doing the guest spot, right? And you just say, no. And they just have to walk home.
In a Ghostbusters costume.
In a Ghostbusters costume. Come on, that'd be something.
I mean...
Matt, you're a comic. You're supposed to be cruel. I feel like you're too nice of a guy. Or are you just hiding? Is it all hidden in there?
Is all the anger hidden? No, I think a lot of the anger is like dissolving because I quit drinking 3 weeks ago. So
there was just not gonna be funny anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I feel like when I'm jacked up on coffee, I definitely have an equally amount of There's definitely some humor that goes with that, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think the best substance that adds to humor is?
I don't have any substance adds. Personally, I have to go on stage sober. Even I can maybe have one drink, but that's about it. Just for me personally. Other than that, I mean, definitely cocaine is the funniest time. You get a couple comics just loaded up on cocaine. You can be bombing on stage, but you think you're killing it. Running late by 10 minutes is a great time.
I've definitely had nights like that. But I would say there's certain places that are just hard, like where it's just like there's a lot of shows where you go and they'll like want to pay in drink tickets and shit like that, and I don't know if you've had that experience yet, or I don't know, the casino is just a hard place to not drink. I've noticed, like since I quit drinking 3 weeks ago, I think the toughest time I had it was going to do a show at Comics Roadhouse, and like just being in the casino, everything about the place just kind of like heightens the senses to want to drink. You know what I mean?
Well, I get what you're saying. I always find the casino very sad. Like, it's never anyone who has the money to be in a casino that's in a casino, if that makes sense. Like what we see on TV with like the high rollers table and the guy in the suit with the chicks on the arm. Like, that's not the person that movie.
Yeah, but I think that's why they changed like the whole motif of like the casino. Like if you went into Comics, the club, the club at Foxwoods because they moved Comics from Foxwoods over to Mohegan.
Oh, I didn't know.
If you went in there at Foxwoods like 5 years ago, it was this whole like Sinatra-ish kind of vibe, like theater, big curtain, like kind of like had that like classy motif going. Now it's a fucking roadhouse.
Yeah, it's got like the bull too.
It's a whole like Coyote Ugly theme going on. So it's like I feel like that whole what was the name of that movie? Ocean's 11 kind of motif is kind of fading away from casinos. You know what I mean?
I suppose, although I don't think Connecticut casinos are really the place for that grandeur.
I don't know. Sinatra did a bunch of sold out shows at Foxwoods back in the day. Now that Sinatra is dead, maybe is the reason that whole lifestyle's gone.
That's the reason casinos aren't classy now.
Because Sinatra died? Yeah. I would say so. Like I mean it's a little funny to say, but at the same time, very true.
Fair. Well, I mean, ever since like the mafia got out of casinos in like the 80s, they become much more corporate.
Yeah, but I was born in 91, but even back like when I was like 5-6 years old, they had
the casino.
But when I was 5-6 years old, they had that guy singing in all the commercials like take a chance, make it happen. You remember those commercials?
I don't, but I'll take your word for it.
Popcorn, fingers snapping. You don't remember those fucking commercials?
No.
It was a whole like a crooner type guy in all the Foxwoods commercials. Am I losing you, Chris?
No, I'm with you. I'm a bad guest. I apologize.
No. You're just like you kind of like have like those shark eyes going. I never really noticed that about you until I'm sitting face to face with you. What did you do for a living outside of stand-up?
So I mean, I've done a couple different jobs. Most of it's been sales.
Yeah.
It's all been kind of like shady sales, like like I used to do.
Well, I was a pawnbroker for nearly a decade, so
there you go.
So let's talk.
So I used to work for this guy Bob back in the day, and back when I was in college, that was my job. And what we do is it was this call center, and you call people to have them do surveys for different like anything. Like the State Department has to do a survey on corruption. We did like on the best hardwood tiles for the floor, like the best vinyl siding, all these weird surveys. You get like a list of numbers.
Right.
And basically what you do is you lie to
Dilbert type cubicle?
No, this was nothing that, but this was like 100% a scam. So it was in this like shitty little office. There's like 12 of us, and we just like you'd call the people, and you'd always lie to them. Say that if they stayed to the end, they'd be entered into a raffle to win. So always absurd price, like trip to the casino, a cruise. Like it didn't exist. It was never. They were never getting any of this.
Wow.
And it was a great time. Learned a lot. Learned how to lie really well.
Would you get paid based on how long you kept them on the phone for?
No, so I get paid based on how many surveys I could roll out. So depending on the customer that week, some surveys are like 3 minutes, really easy in and out. You get paid like, for something like that, like maybe $2 a survey. But then there were other ones where it was like 20 minutes, and that was like you get $10 for that survey. So that was like the big money one. But they would always break your heart when you got like to 15 minutes in, and the person just said hey, they had enough and hung up. Mm-hmm. And that's when you'd enter false information for the rest of it and complete the survey like a true employee.
Wow.
But Bob was great. He'd always be on Xanax, smoking a cigarette inside. I think my favorite was he was late on paychecks one time and literally paid a guy in Xanax.
How did you, and how long did you do this for?
Like a year and a half.
Wow. That's a long time to be in a rat race like that.
It was a great time, though. Bob was great.
So after that, what did you move on to after that?
After that, I went back to college, good old UConn, Huskies for life. Did college, like some odd jobs in college, worked the student union, the bakery, delivered pizza, stuff like that. And then after college, I worked at this company that was like a legit, I don't know how I got the job, I had no business being there, but it was like a legitimate like sales job in a big office, like I had health insurance and everything. I just defrauded the taxpayer, essentially. Like I sold things to local municipalities,
right?
And I would just get some low-level person on the phone, like a secretary, who was somehow in charge of like $100K of government spending.
Really?
And just convince her it was a really good idea to spend it on things. It was a great time.
Really?
Yeah.
So basically, other people's demise in the workplace was your game.
Exactly. It's kind of on the government. It's like when you pay someone $40,000 a year and then put them in charge of like $200K plus of funding, it's like that was, that's not the most motivated person at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They're not being taken care of, so why are they going to really look into any of this? So. See, really all my jobs have been on the up and up, really. Just a great guy.
You know how to bullshit over a cup of coffee, sir.
Yeah, it's my job.
Oh my God! So, growing up, you got siblings or?
Yeah, I have one younger brother. We were 6 years apart, so never super close or anything like that, just because of the age gap.
Yeah.
Had two parents.
6 years apart. Which way? He's younger.
6 years younger. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So what? Did you help raise him, or it's weird? That's a weird age difference because you're not old enough to like help out with him, but you're not young enough to, like be like best friends with him.
Yeah, we're better now that we're older.
Yeah.
We've kind of reconnected, but it's just, I don't know, my household wasn't the best. Like, it wasn't like cool dramatic. Like, people are like, my parents were alcoholics and they beat me every. It wasn't like that. Just my parents were always drunk, so I just did whatever I wanted. Like it was actually pretty sweet.
So kind of like a latchkey kid.
Yeah, but like my dad of course was like a con artist. That's where I got it from. So like we always just had money around that was being burned because it wasn't really his. Just kind of like living in nice places we had no business living in, and it was a good time. Parents just pass out on the floor. I go watch the Chappelle show, play some Halo 3, have a great night.
Nice.
Yeah, good times.
Nice. Halo.
Halo was
You're a big video game guy? You still a big video game guy?
Actually, to this day, I love the game Dota 2.
I don't know what that is.
So Dota 2, have you heard of League of Legends?
No.
All right. Dota 2 is a MOBA, which we could explain all day. It's a very nerdy, complex game, but it's basically a team game. And yeah, it's all I've been doing in quarantine. Is playing Dota 2.
Really?
I got the old clan back together, ranking up, dude.
Now, when you say clan...
Oh, no, like a video game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, not the Burning Cross tour. I'm on. Later this month, actually, check out the Burning Cross tour. I'm opening for David Duke. It's going to be a great time.
Speaking of your white heritage,
I don't like you said that very accusatory.
Well, come on. There was a big spill of pasta sauce in front of my apartment building when we were walking in, and I knew Chris was gonna fucking make a joke about it. I knew. What was it you said to me? I don't even remember what it was.
Something like all these fucking Dagos. always ruining the neighborhood. These papists.
I said, what? I said, look out for that pasta sauce. I don't slip in a ball, Chris. Mamma mia.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said.
Mamma mia, that's a lot. That's a spicy pasta sauce. Yeah, so I was the one that spilled the pasta. No, I don't even really know where that shit came from. I was hoping it rained. I thought I saw it yesterday. I thought it rained. I thought that fucking shit would not be there anymore.
No, it's acidic. It's right into the concrete there. It's not going anywhere.
Oh my god. Anyways, I was very culturally Italian and grew up a little bit religious. Did you grow up religious at all, or you, yeah?
No, very much not. Like, my mom was like the classic woman that was like religious, but like not. You know, they paid a lot of lip service. Like, God's gonna take care of you, honey, and then that was about it. Like, you know, it's like, what does that mean?
What were like the holidays like in your house though? Like being like with your parents being drunks and all.
Oh, they were fun, dude. I had actually because my aunt had married into a huge Italian family.
Right.
Which is where I learned my hate for the Italians.
Okay, so you see, I'm starting to understand.
Yeah, so it's warranted. It's just not that, you know, normal hate of Italians isn't. Let me be clear.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we just go over to their house for like Christmas and Easter and all this stuff. And of course, my family was like the ones you go, oh, they're coming.
Right.
And of course, there'd always be some huge scene every time, and it would always be one of us.
Like what? Like what would happen?
Oh, my dad would just get like super drunk and you know, just start yelling horrible things.
What, like Archie Bunker type things, or like what do you mean?
No, he would just like one year he made my aunt cry because he was like calling her a coward for being against it was right at the Iraq War, for being against the Iraq War, and like you know, just some classic like closeted homosexual republicanism. It was great stuff. Yeah, fun times.
So yeah, what the hell else did I want to talk about? I feel like all my questions kind of like we come to a screeching halt here.
It's okay. You'll get better at hosting as time goes on.
You know, like I mean, podcasting is its own animal, man.
What episode am I, by the way?
This is like 54.
Dude, you should be cleaner at this. You should be good with the transitions. You should have stuff ready to go.
Who'd you idolize growing up?
Who'd I idolize?
Yeah.
Probably Richard Nixon.
Really?
Really, yeah. No, like Richard Nixon. This sounds dumb, but I did like a middle school report on Richard Nixon. And guy's the man. Like, if Watergate scandal hadn't happened, honestly, I think the U.S. public would view him very differently.
Okay. Can you elaborate on it?
Dude, he started the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, which is why we now have, you know, the regulations we have.
And according to the Simpsons movie, those are the ones that are going to be dropping the dome over us. Which is, in a sense, what the pandemic is.
Yeah, see? So without Nixon, we wouldn't have had this. Open relations with China for trade, which like improved the power of the U.S. dollar like exponentially. Now like Americans could get a microwave for like a third of the cost. Granted, you know, shipped over a lot of jobs, but like who cares about the Midwest, you know? Yeah, he restructured the draft so it didn't adversely target poor people, and then he ended the Vietnam War, which he never gets enough credit for. Yeah, just you know, pretty cool guy.
You know, I mean, being that I'm 29 and you're fucking younger than me, talking about how great Nixon is.
Nixon's the man.
The only thing I really know about Nixon is from what I've seen in Futurama.
Yeah. Agnew.
You enjoyed him on that show? How they portrayed him?
I'm not gonna lie, Futurama kind of sucks.
Really?
I don't understand why. Like, it's not bad. I'll watch it in the background.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why it gets the love it does.
You know, I liked it for the first few years. When they canceled it and tried to bring it back.
Oh, well, then it was really.
Yeah, you can't do that with. I hate when they do that with TV shows.
It was one of those shows I watched every single episode, and never really like. I was like, okay, maybe it's like kind of okay. Maybe I'm not getting it, but like I did that for like all 8 seasons or whatever.
Well, it's also difficult when it's like it's trying to be sci-fi and it's trying to be comedy, and they're simultaneously trying to do both so hard. You know, it's like, well, are you a comedy or are you sci-fi? Just choose one. You know?
Yeah, no, I feel you on that.
As opposed to Rick and Morty, which is fucking hilarious and do both very well. Do you like Rick and Morty?
So, like, the first season was good. I just don't like that. Okay, my problem with Rick and Morty, and this is like hugely been gone over, so I'm not saying anything anyone else hasn't. But like, the fan base ruins it. It's like they won't shut up about it. It's the same people that are like in their 30s and spending $800 on like merch for a TV show and like think the Avengers is well written. Mm-hmm. It's just like the ultimate man-child show for people who think they're smart. It drives me crazy.
Okay, I'm enjoying your
Rick and Morty.
That's actually a magnet. I'm actually enjoying your hot take on it though.
Hot take.
And I've actually liked what you said about the Avengers even more. I don't get what the appeal of the Avengers is.
No, if you're over 16 and like actively look forward to superhero things or like watch superhero things, like I think you should be put down. I don't think you're providing anything to society.
But if you have kids, it's different though. I feel like
get them into cooler shit. It's not the 50s, okay? Like,
but something. I feel like the comic, like I was really into comic books as a kid.
Okay.
And
I know, so you're also wearing Captain. I'm sorry. I'm just really going after your character.
But here's the thing, though. I think you're totally right because I didn't see the last two Avengers movies because here's my problem with them. They're visually spectacular, but I feel like they have no real substance.
They're also an animated film. It's all done in front of a green screen. It's just beautiful people jumping around in front of a green screen. There's like nothing to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It bothers me.
I mean, now that the movie theaters are basically done for, if they brought them back, what kind of movie would you want to see?
Like in general?
Yeah.
I like a good movie.
Yeah.
We haven't had a good movie in a while.
And, it's crazy because I feel like a lot of these indie movies, like you can only watch them at home now. While it's like the only movie you can go see in the theaters is these Avengers movies, these blockbuster fucking movies.
Well, and that's what was one of the quiet tragedies of quarantine that I don't think got enough attention is all the indie small movie theaters got shut down because they were already not making money.
Yeah,
it's usually some retired guy's passion project. So like a month into quarantine, all of them shut down. My favorite one, Bethel Cinema, over in Bethel, Connecticut. I watched so many great indie films there. Right. Some good, some bad, but they always had some weird, like, Tribeca Film Fest, where this is, like, the third place runner-up from some, just weird shit you never heard of. And it was interesting to see, and now that that's out of business. I don't know where, other than, like, I'm sure the ones in, like, Brooklyn and stuff have the infrastructure behind them, but, like, these little local, indie theaters, I think, are gone, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what they should have done and what they could have done and what they could still do is bring back the fucking drive-in. Why do they not do that? Why are drive-in movie theaters not fucking popping up?
Well, I think they were hot for like a minute. I think there was like a drive-in in Connecticut that got a lot of buzz during quarantine because of that. I'm going to be honest, drive-ins seem kind of gay.
Unless you bring a fucking date and you can get a hand job without like any like... What do you mean they seem kind of gay?
I don't know. It just seems like that.
I feel like it's the ultimate date experience, really. It's like you can do whatever you want with a date in a car at a drive-in.
I'm trying to watch the movie, okay? I don't want to be hassled with these handsy hussies, okay?
I'll tell you this. I've only been to a drive-in movie theater one time ever in my life. Took this girl to see the new It there down in when I was down in Florida. And this girl was like, I don't know, they call them like the suicide girl. So she's like covered in tattoos. And she was covered in tattoos of like horror movie characters.
I'm sure she had a great relationship with her father.
And we did some serious fooling around. I'm not going to mention her name, but yeah.
Do you have her Instagram handle?
I'm not talk about her any further than this. Long sip of coffee.
Man, it's okay if she was bigger, you know.
No, she was good looking.
Okay.
And I would have told you if she was big, because I've had my fair share of larger women.
Mm.
You?
I'm saving it for Jesus, man. Gotta be on the straight and narrow.
Do you believe in God?
Yeah, I'd say I do.
Yeah?
It took a sharp turn, but yeah. What about you, Matt? You a good Catholic boy?
I wouldn't say I'm a good Catholic, but I don't think any Catholic is necessarily a good Catholic.
Oh, they are Catholics.
A good Catholic is like an oxymoron.
True. They did pick the wrong side in the 30 Years' War, so you know.
I mean, I'm still pretty hung up about the whole hating Jew thing.
Mm.
Like how a lot of people hate Jews when it's like their book is like the first part of the rest of everyone else's book.
I do think it's funny because if you look at Christianity, it's literally just you guys are just Messianic Jews, right? Like you realize that even Jesus himself was predicted in the first Bible. The only difference is at one point a certain group of Jews decided that Jesus was in fact the Messiah. The other sect of Jews thought that the Messiah would kind of give them dominion back over the world, and went the other way, and so they're still waiting for the Messiah. So really, it's the same religion, just brand. I mean,
exactly.
Then you got all the weird Roman shit that makes kind of modern day Catholicism a little bit pagany with praying through saints and all that, and transubstantiation, but.
But I feel like every book starts out with the same story, the Abraham on the mountain. No, you know, it's just
I mean the Old Testament is the beginning part of every Abrahamic faith, which at this point has dominated the world. Unfortunately, it's not a lot of those little small religions have gotten snuffed out.
But I feel like the people that hate other people for their religion are just people that don't know how to read. Do you think there's any truth to that?
I mean, Matt, you're telling me there's no religion that you're like, someone had to go. He's laughing because he knows it's true and just trying to think of a scapegoat.
I don't know, man. It's a weird world we live in, especially now. What do you make of the pandemic? Like, how do you feel about the anti-maskers and all that?
So I'm not a big worldly guy. I don't really care what's going on in the world. I don't really care selfishly about how it affects me. So my only thoughts for COVID are that it has ruined comedy, and all I care about is comedy coming back. Mm-hmm. So if, we need to get vaccine for that, if we need to wear masks, if we need to just say COVID's not real to do it, I'll do whatever. I will shill and say COVID's not real.
I think this
and
is why
risk getting it.
I think this is why I asked you to be on the podcast in the first place, because I like this hot take.
I mean, I will, if someone wants to give me 10 minutes of stage time, I will say whatever you want at the beginning of that. Mm-hmm. I will say COVID's not real. I will, some other things I probably shouldn't say on record, but I will. I will be your spokesperson.
Okay. Well, I don't want you to be my spokesperson for saying COVID's not real, because I'm fairly certain that it is.
Yeah, but you did give me a platform, and you're really giving a voice to maybe people that shouldn't have a voice, Matt, and that's pretty dangerous. It's very un-PC of you.
Really?
No.
I mean, that's what the 1,000 Comics podcast is all about, though.
So who, other than myself, who's the worst comic you've had on this? Just bombed the entire set.
I wouldn't say. See, you can't look at the podcast like it's stand-up, because it's a completely different medium, and I don't think anyone's really bombed on it.
Oh, now you just come on. Where's the juicy gossip?
No, I look at this show like every episode is one of my babies, and I love all my babies.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a loving mother.
I know. I actually look at because we've been talking religion a little bit. I look at my podcast like it's my own personal Jacob's ladder.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which is why I do it in a 4-story walk-up.
I didn't know they had those here in Manchester, to be honest. I was expecting the middle of the woods. I was getting a little worried.
I'm seeing how this whole Trump getting corona pans out, man.
He's gonna be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not gonna let the president.
Exactly, he's gonna be fine. You know what I think really bothers me, and it's not only the left making Carl black on the Simpsons, like an actual black guy on the Simpsons, or
because that did really upset you.
or Lorne Michaels getting rid of some of the classic SNL characters. Something I've been reading in the paper lately, and since Trump got corona, is the comments that Trump made about getting corona, saying that we as a people should not be afraid of corona, and then people criticizing him for it, I actually think is bullshit.
Which side of it? It was confusing the way you worded it.
I think it's bullshit that people will criticize him for saying people should not be afraid of it, because I don't think people should be afraid of it.
But devil's advocate, if you're someone who lost like your mom to COVID, you're probably going to react to that statement a little differently.
Now, I mean, did we not have a president during the time of World War II that said there's nothing to fear but fear itself?
Yeah, but we were fighting
and 85 million people died in that war.
Yeah, and how many of those were Americans? Let's be real.
And only
rocked it, dude.
And worldwide corona, only 1 million. Now, should we be afraid of the coronavirus?
Well, if you're asking me if we should be afraid of Europeans, like in World War II, way less scary. Germans, like, come on, fuck them. What are they gonna do? The Japanese, like, they were samurai like 20 years before. You think they know how to fly a plane will be fine? But then it's like, corona's a little different.
The fact is, Chris, I need people like you to be around so I could say my actual opinions.
That's good.
And have somebody else say something much more offensive, so it takes the heat off of me.
There is nothing wrong with saying the Krauts are up to something. Okay? Every couple generations, the Germans ruin the world. All right?
Well, okay, now we're getting somewhere, Chris.
Martin Luther, back in the 1400s, caused the 30 Years' War, killed like an eighth of Europe's population over that.
Yeah.
Then you got World War I. Look what they did then. World War II. Oh, it's the Germans again. The fall of Rome.
So
German tribes.
What you're saying is we should be worried about the Germans right now.
Yeah.
Like the pandemic, it's like we're...
It's a cover. Angela Merkel's grabbing power. She's been chancellor for like 20 years, and everyone just like, that's cool.
They dropped the Simpsons dome over us with this pandemic, and we're not even paying attention to what's going on over there.
The Germans are running the EU, doing some currency manipulation. No one's paying attention. They're rearming. I mean, I'm just, they're up to something. Everyone thinks it's China.
What's David Hasselhoff doing right now?
Probably falling off the wagon and drinking again. He was a lot more fun when he was drinking. Like him just eating the burger as his daughter's like, please stop drinking, Dad. He's like, you fucking bitch, just eating the burger.
This is actually a good question to ask you. Do you think that the show Baywatch was like a Hitler like dream fantasy of like the perfect kind of people? With the Hasselhoff in there and everything, The people on Baywatch are way too beautiful.
Well, it's interesting that, you see a show of all white people and you're like, yeah, that's beautiful people, the dream. I think that says more about you, Matt.
No, I mean, it bothers me that there's no black people
now
on
we're
Baywatch.
Switching our stance. Now flip-flopping around.
I mean, I think it's ridiculous that you would make such a bold accusation when the last porno I watched was Black Baywatch. So what do you think of that?
That's a checkmate.
Oh my God! This? It's weird because it's like there's these pauses here in our conversation, but I think overall very good conversation we've been having.
I think so. I mean, I'm just a little on the spectrum, so I'm not good at the conversation. That's why I do comedy, just yell at people and they have to listen to me.
Tom Kenny, the guy who played SpongeBob, once said that he thinks that all comedians are a slight bit autistic.
Oh, probably.
Do you think that's true?
I mean, you even just gotta think of the fact that you go into a room of most open mics where it's like a bar or a restaurant in the beginning, where most people just want to have their drink on like Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And you're just like, hey, everybody, listen to me for the next 5 minutes. You're gonna listen to me. And that's just like you just yell at them.
Yeah.
For 5 minutes, it's a little.
But that's just practicing the craft.
It's a polite way to put it.
I mean, do you think that I mean there you're right. We should give up. We should stop doing what we're doing.
I think you're onto a good point, because not enough comedians address this. I think Connecticut comedy has gotten weird in that it's way too supportive. I think we should be mean to each other. When I first started, people were a lot meaner, and that wasn't that long ago.
I'm kidding, by the way, when I say we should give up. But I'm
I'm
liking where you're going with this. What's your hot take on this one?
So, and granted, I didn't start that long ago, so it's been a quick change. I don't know what happened. I think the Fairfield scene started, where I kind of came up, and that's like a little bit nicer, for lack of a better word. It's just like overly supportive. It's like when I bomb, I don't want people saying, "Oh, good set, man." It's like that doesn't help me.
Well, that's the worst thing you can do is tell people that they're doing well when they're not.
Make fun of me. So I never want to do that again.
Yeah.
Bully people that have no business being at open mics. Bully them out of it. If someone bombs for 3 months in a row, you should have bullied them out of coming to open mics.
That's the left, Chris. These are the people that are like demanding a black guy play Carl on The Simpsons. Like these are the same people that are applauding people that just say, great job, when they're not, because they're full of shit. They're all full of shit.
You are so upset that a black guy is playing Carl. It's a little like.
Here's my thing.
I feel like you don't want to say a black guy when you say who's playing Carl. I feel like you hold back there for a second.
I don't know. Here's my thing with it. It's the same guy's been playing him for 30 goddamn years.
Yeah, because white people have been doing everything in this country since time started.
Okay, so...
And we need to give other people a chance now, okay? Your patriarchy is done, man. I'm sorry for that.
Here's what we do. We take Hank Azaria's paycheck, because he's got enough money, from every season 31 episode of The Simpsons, because this is the last season of The Simpsons.
Wait, is it?
Yes.
They're ending The Simpsons?
They're ending The Simpsons. And we put... And instead of handing over the role to somebody else, a show that's ending anyways, we get people set up in the business so they can be successful. You know what I mean?
Who's they?
Black people.
So now they need a handout from white people.
What I'm saying
they can't be
is
successful in the business on their own, Matt. That's pretty messed up.
Instead of the United Negro College Foundation, we make the CCC, the Carl Carlson College Foundation.
I know that's
CCCF.
Actually the name of an organization, but when you said it made me very uncomfortable.
What, the CCCF?
You know what you said.
What did I say? The United Negro College Foundation?
I don't think we can use that word in 2020.
That's a real thing, which I've donated to before. That helps black people go to college. We can't say Negro now?
Whoa, hey now.
Hey now! You know, you're making me very uncomfortable.
Matt, I'm just calling you out on what you're saying. You're really holding up a mirror to yourself. And if that makes you uncomfortable, look in that mirror, buddy. You can change it anytime.
I see a good-looking guy. Looking right back at me. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me looking in the mirror.
I picked up on that. Yeah.
I don't know, Chris. Fucking A.
So you're voting Republican, right?
I'm not voting.
Oh, yeah, okay. This guy's voting for Trump. That's exactly...
And not voting, I feel like, is a vote for Trump. So there you go.
I mean, technically speaking, in Connecticut, it's been a dark blue state our whole lives. So, you vote Democrat, doesn't matter, the state would have gone blue. Vote Republican, doesn't matter, the state would have gone blue. So really, I mean, your vote doesn't matter in Connecticut. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless there was like a real demographic shift in people going out to vote in different ways. But really, it wouldn't be. I don't know what would have to happen to flip it.
I don't know, man. Who you voting for?
Green Party all day.
Oh yeah, Kermit the Frog, Frank Sinatra.
Come on, man. Jill Stein. They're going to save us. Protect the environment. You don't like the environment, man? IPA, in honor of Nixon, one of our only 2 Quaker presidents. Those people have lost a lot of power in the modern era.
So you're throwing away your vote, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, no matter what I do in Connecticut, I'm throwing away my vote. Like I said, it's going to go blue whether I'm voting blue or I'm voting red. It's going to, it doesn't matter. It's going to go blue. And even in a swing state, if you think about it, right, like Florida, for instance, which is a big swing state, most of those counties are historically red or blue, so it really only comes down to 1 or 2 swing counties within that swing state. So probably on some level, like 2 million people's vote decided for the rest of the country.
I'm not a smart man. I try to talk about politics, but I don't know anything.
But you just get distracted because you get so mad that black actors are stealing white actors' jobs. And you're like, when will this injustice stop?
It's not even about that.
When will Carl be voiced by a white man?
I actually love that actor. I think he's great on Becker. It's the blind guy from Becker. He's great.
And you're like, he should stay there. Not on Becker, not your beloved Simpsons.
I'm just saying, like, it's a different voice. It's just like it's changing the show. How are they gonna admit? Like, honestly, like all I'm saying is that Groening should have dug his heels in and been like, it's okay that a 2-dimensional character
dug his heels in at season 15 and tapped out and stopped the show. Okay, he's given up any sort of artistic respect I would have for him a long time ago. Now they have celebrities that aren't even that famous on. Like, I saw an episode that was just Flight of the Conchords on there. I love those guys, don't get me wrong, but, like, that's the level of celebrity that's just getting an episode.
Yeah, but doesn't it make you feel like, hey, maybe I could get on there someday? If they have Flight of the Conchords, they'll hire any comic.
Hey, they had one good season.
Flight of the Conchords is actually good. I
had a great
actually
HBO
like
show.
Yeah.
Rep in New Zealand.
Yeah. But back to the fact of the matter is we're all gonna die.
I don't think so. I think we're good.
We're all probably gonna die.
We already established coronavirus isn't real. Bring the mics back. It's fine.
And on that note, before we end, do you want to have anything you want to promote? Is there anything you want to put out there? Instagram handle? Anything?
Sure. You can follow me at Chris Warren _37.
Okay.
All my hot takes will be on there. It's mostly pictures of girls' houses I'm stalking, and cats.
Okay. And I don't know. I think we should start a whole new vlog series called Chris Warren's Hot Takes.
We could.
Yeah. All right. I think we're getting somewhere, Chris. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.